Alright, here's a quick little video review of Cyberverse Battler Class. JETFIRE with tank cannon is his armor. See his little tank? And I mostly got him for his tank armor, because I like this little tank. But the figure itself is actually pretty fun. Simple. You can see that he's just kind of an extended, shoulders come down, peg into the ankles, the feet flip down. It's not a super involved transformation. Oh, he also has a flip out landing gear up here. But it does a couple of interesting things to get to where it is, which surprised me. Like it transformed in a way I wasn't expecting it to get the arms and legs to collapse up. So that was kind of cool. But here he is. He's a basic little jet. He's got a little landing gear. He can sit there. And then tank cannon, which again, like all the other ones, doesn't quite interact with the vehicle mode like I would want it to. Anyway, like this, the only one that actually so far looks like it interacts with it is the big Arc Armor Prime can carry the Arc on his trailer. And something like that would have been nice. If we just like maybe plug it under here. Nope, can't do it. Oh wait, can he? Can't. Nope, that's not a peg. Oh, where is it? Nope, that peg is just too big. It looks like it's shaped the right way to peg into here, but alas, is not. So anyway, you know the drill. Armor goes on the robot, robot transforms. Well, robot transforms, armor goes on the robot. But here they are in vehicle mode. And like I said, to transform him, you untab his hands from his, or unpeg his hands from down here. And this is like I said, this is slightly neat because I thought this was all this red was one individual piece, and it's not. This folds. Well, the legs first. The legs extend at the knee. You can untab them, and they kind of do at Combiner Wars, Power of the Primes, leg collapse, knee hinge there, which I wasn't expecting on a figure this small. Not to say they couldn't do it, I just wasn't expecting it. And then all this assembly right here, the nose cone by itself folds down on this hinge, and then the arms rotate at the shoulder, the thruster, so it points down. And you can see that's at an angle, so when you have it down, it brings the shoulder down here to peg into the leg, and then raises it up for robot mode. Simple but neat. And again, just wasn't something I was expecting. I was expecting it was going to be collapse his legs, peg the hands in, flip this whole red assembly up the end. And it's actually a little bit more involved than that. So, hey. Ball joints at the shoulders, at hinge elbows, ball joints at the hip, hinge knee, slight toe articulation, although that's really just to allow it to fold up for transformation. But not a bad looking little JETFIRE. Like, again, same lack of paint as all the other ones, but where they use it to good effect, like the white stripes on the wings, the white here on the cockpit, the blue cockpit, and even on the chest, tampoed autograph, the stripe of blue on his head, and the little cockpit, the red down here. So it's again, very sparse paint apps, but I feel like, unlike Prowl, who is mostly white, I feel like they used them to good effect here on JETFIRE. Whereas Cybershark has a lot of these molded greebly bits to help out with his lack of paint. But anyway, so there he is by himself. Here he is with Skybite. Here he is with Prowl all armored up. I'm not going to swap all the armors around. I'm sure somebody else has done it. But, I mean, we get the idea of what these guys can do now. And his armor goes on the same way. You pop the treads off, pop the gun off, and then this folds up. These two pegs, you can fold them down like this, peg him into the robot, fold it down over his head. This folds in, has a little tab to fold into his cockpit. Folds back, and he's another one that has this just sitting straight back. It doesn't fold down like Prowl's does. Actually, I can fold down more than that. There we go. And then the treads. You can put the treads on the legs, kind of. And Starscream wears his treads on his legs. I like, again, these are ones, since he's got little guns on him, give him his little arm guns. Although it does interfere with the ability of the arms to bend because the wings here. So like unlike on Prowl, where he's got a little bit more freedom of movement, the wings kind of block these from moving unless you move the shoulder out a little bit. Give him his little gun. And there's JETFIRE with the tank cannon armor all on. So yeah, like I said, it's the same basic concept. I think the base figures for their size are fun. Skybite is my favorite of the three I have. I don't know if I'm going to get Starscream because he's kind of the same basic transformation as JETFIRE, but he just looks worse from what I've seen of pictures. I may pick him up just to have all 4 of them. I'll definitely be picking up Ratchet and Shockwave when they come out. But yeah. The one drawback I will say to this is that this white plastic is a little weak. Like, it's just a little bit more bendy than on the other characters. I mean, I guess Prowl's designed in a way where I don't really notice it. Skybite doesn't have any of it. But I've noticed that, like, sometimes his ball joints on his, like, this hip and this arm, they have just enough give that sometimes if you move them just right, I see like that one, I moved him just right, and it just slid right off. It didn't snap or pop. It's just a matter of if it gets, like, on there, it's fine. Pulling it straight out, it's fine. But if you get it just the right angle, it slides right off. And also, the exact opposite problem up here when you try to take his armor off, because it's a little thinner here, and the pegs hold in so securely to his chest that, like, you can see that it kind of wants to bend instead of giving you the leverage to pull the pegs out. So you have to kind of get up under here with your finger. I mean, you can move one of these turrets out of the way and get right underneath it to pull it straight up, because otherwise it just kind of wants to bend halfway through there. Once you know what to do, it's not difficult. Like, once you can get your thumb right underneath it, it pops right out. It's just unlike the other armors, which also have some degree of difficulty, but it does have a little bit more give, so it's more difficult to get the armor out of his robot chest. But there he is, Spark Armor JETFIRE with tank cannon.